No question that Ashley Ridge has a ton of talent. They played Fort Dorchester very close. In fact, of their 4 losses, 3 of them were by a touchdown or less. And it's time now for the U.S. Air Force aim high kickoff. And it is high, but it's also very short. And West Ashley will begin just shy of the 40-yard line.
Jaden Washington, wide receiver. Seen a lot of that here recently. A lot of pooch kicks, trying to keep it away from the deep guys. And why they'll set up shop at about the 38.
Bobby Marion down there in the long sleeve gray shirt runs out these starters. The WOW offensive starters now for the WOW whole home Wi-Fi starting lineup. No slow zones, no dead zones, just WOW zones. Jenkins is going to give it off to Kershaw here in the opening play, and Kershaw maybe picks up a yard. Darius Smith, the senior leading tackler for the Swamp Fox, is up to make the stop.
Smith listed as a DB, doesn't bother him though.
Defensively, also brought to you by WOW. Whole home Wi-Fi starting lineup. No slow zone, no dead zone, just the WOW zones. And Jaheim President is a force towards the bottom of your screen there in the starting lineup in the middle of that defensive line. Wow, look at that speed as he bursts his way into the 3rd level. Kenyatta Jenkins dragging tacklers. And the senior on senior night has him down to about the 35.
Noah West needs a little help from Jaron Strickland, but there you see the speed. It's West getting a hand on him and Strickland coming in, taking him down at about the 35.
Give him a 25-yard run there. The big man 33 is Yafet Bienvenu, leading rusher on the team, but Jenkins is going to keep spin off the hit of Darius Smith and pick up decent yardage there on 1st down.
Rhett Butcher coming in, making the stop. Pretty good name, Rhett Butcher.
It's a solid one. It also makes you hungry. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I haven't eaten enough today.
There you go. You see the speed and the quickness of Kenyatta Jenkins.
Here's Bienvenu's first carry of the day, and he is a load as he drags tacklers about 3 yards shy of the 1st down. Bienvenu listed at 247. He, like most of his teammates, had a huge day 2 weeks ago, the last time West Ashley played. They beat up on Stahl. They ran for almost 600 yards and had over 600 yards of total offense. Bienvenu had 12 carries for a $114. They'll rotate through their backs quite a bit here. This is the first touch now for Delliston. So we've already seen 4 different players carry the ball. Jenkins, Dominique Kershaw, Delliston, and Bienvenu on this opening drive for the Wildcats.
West Ashley's never been short of really good speed and skilled players. They just struggle to put it all together. Bobby Marion said when he took this program over 9 years ago, he had 55 total players on both JV and varsity combined.
Oh, wow. Empty backfield here for Jenkins. And he was optimistic about this year because of all the speed that he's got. I mean, we saw them early in the year when they started out 2-0.
Yeah, they ran all over James Island. You know, it's interesting how a lot of these teams have played out. I mean, they played so well early. You know, got blown out by the Fort, got blown out by Berkeley, and I think the big loss and the one that hurt them the most was losing to Wanda by 7.
There's Bienvenu getting some tough yards and setting up a 3rd down. Let's crunch some numbers. Brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank. This is your statewide high school media poll. 6, 7, and 8. Fort Somerville behind Fort Dorchester despite beating them on Monday night, and then Berkeley. I understand the Green Wave ran the Philly Special in double overtime.
It was an offshoot of the Philly Special. Pretty close.
All right, fair enough. Look at Bienvenu, keep the balance, dive his way down to the 5-yard line. Once again, there's Darius Smith On the stop, they are deep now into the judgment-free red zone.
We'll see the balance and the agility of 245 pounds. Big number 78 down there leading the way on the left side.
It's funny to watch him huddle up, and he right there, Terrence Frazier, next to Kenyatta Jenkins, who turns and gives it off to Mazik. So what, now 5 different guys have carried the ball on this opening drive.
Mazik's only got 400 and plus yards rushing. He's only carried it 54 times, right?
That's right.
But he's got 7 touchdowns.
Also correct.
I like that average,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Every 7 carries, you're going to score a touchdown.
Yeah, and virtually pick up a first down. At least pretty close to it. He's
Ball
not
on the
going
ground.
anywhere here.
Ball on the ground.
And
Ball
no one
still on the
realizes
ground.
it.
I don't think the officials knew it.
They didn't.
That was Noah West was shocked to see it come. And that looked almost like a rugby scrum. And all of a sudden it just kind of popped out.
And you were all over it.
Yeah, no, that ball is not down. That ball is loose. That ball was nobody ever had it. And then once they did have it, they're going to have a conversation about it. But there was quarterback, running back without the solid handoff.
We're going to replay third down. So the officials didn't see it at all. That's John Hill, who's our lead official.
You've got an official in the back. You've got a side judge there right by the goal line. Just walk out of your screen. I'm not sure how they missed it.
It was kicked around from the outside. It was never in the hands of Mazik.
It was kick the can from the 4.
So you want a good opening break on senior night? There it is.
Yep.
Now the question, can you take advantage of it? It'll be Jenkins by himself powering his way in. Touchdown number 16 on the year for Kenyatta Jenkins.
Like 2 minutes ago, Noah West had a fumble recovery at the goal line. Now he gets a mouthful of Kenyatta Jenkins. Helmet to face.
Tough break right there for Ashley Ridge. And, you know, you didn't see a whole lot of complaint on the Ashley Ridge side because I don't think they saw much of it either.
No, I don't think they had a chance to see it.
Here's your man, Bear Huggins. Nelson Huggins, the kicker. And that is through. So West Ashley uses about half the opening quarter. Marches their way down the field, all on the ground, and they've got a 7-0 lead here at home. A 62-yard drive kicks it off for West Ashley, a team that's had their fumbling issues throughout the year. They've fumbled 23 times. They've lost all but 3 of them. And this time, they won't get credited for a fumble. Instead, they get credited for the touchdown that came a play later.
in a game like this, as important as it is, if Ashley Ridge should come up on the short end, that's something that Kenny Walker's going to look at and maybe give the high school league a call.
This is Nick Cunningham. He's wearing 12 today. You're used to seeing him in 7, and you're used to seeing him do that all the way out to the 43. Good field position for the Swamp Foxes. Let's check in with the third member of our crew now, Chris Nessman. What's going on down there, Chris?
Hey, that's right, guys. So this entire time, or throughout this entire season, we were talking about the peanut butter jelly drive, and we have the final results of that peanut butter jelly drive. So first, I'd like to thank Tyree Moore from Synovus and Alexis Barbalace from Low Country Food Bank, both of who have contributed and benefited from this. So, Mr. Moore, tell me, working with these high schools for this peanut butter jelly drive, how has it been for, I mean, not only your business, but just for the drive in general?
The drive's been great. What's been so fun is just working with everyone, raising food, the peanut butter and the jelly, just donating to the local food bank, just doing a great deed for the community.
Yeah, and how much, I mean, overall, how many pounds, like how much have you raised since you started?
We raised over 34,000 pounds, and as I've talked several times, we competed with our counterparts in Chattanooga, and they failed. They were only 18,000 pounds. As I said early on, I knew Charleston would step up, and we stepped up. It's great.
Very good. And Ms. Barbalace, tell me, for the Low Country Food Bank, how meaningful and helpful is this for your goal and what you guys do?
It's such a great honor to be part of this organization with Synovus. And in 34,000 pounds, that's a lot of peanut butter and jelly. And what's great about peanut butter is it's beloved by children, seniors, and families throughout the Low Country. High in protein, great for your nutrition.
Very cool. And as far as one thing too, we have the top high school of the season, and that is Fort Dorchester. So we have assistant here from Fort Dorchester. Go ahead and hand that over to him.
Now don't bring this check in and then plan on cashing this one. We got another one for you.
Very cool. So $1,250, and that goes to, how's that?
That goes to Fort Dorchester, and then we have another check for the local food bank, Low Country Food Bank.
Very cool. So benefits all around, Dean. Again, a lot of food raised, and Fort Dorchester was the top high school of this season for the peanut butter jelly drive. Back to you.
Awesome, Chris. 34,000 pounds of peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, each and every week I hear the numbers like that he's throwing around, and it's always hard to believe. But a tip of the cap to all the students, parents, and everyone who participated in it to help out the Low Country Food Bank. During that drive, we saw one carry, we saw a couple of pass attempts, and a quick 3-and-out for Ashley Ridge. So West Ashley will get the ball back after about a minute-long 3-play drive for Ashley Ridge.
There'll be a lot of pressure on the West Ashley defense tonight. They've got one interception the entire year, going against a guy who loves to throw the ball, had over 300 yards against Fort Dorchester. And that is what Bob and Marion was talking about. He's like, you know, we know what Cunningham can do. But he said, but this Ashley Ridge team became a different kind of team when Duncan kind of turned the corner. And that 300-plus against a team like Fort Dorchester is just part of it.
Here's Mazik now, wiggling his way through the middle, but there's Darius Smith again. If there's a hole on this defense, Darius Smith is there to fill it.
Well, that's when you started looking at the stats, you go Darius Smith, he's got like 82 tackles, right? He's leading the team in tackles. And like next to his name is DB, right? And that's not DB Cooper, that's defensive back.
Yes. So he's obviously a safety back there. He plays up close to the line quite a bit, and he'll probably have about 100 tackles by the time this night is done. Jenkins, 5'9", 160-pounder, and Mazik is falling on there by Estep. Estep just finished him off after he lost his footing.
I mean, you take a look at that defense, too. Looked like he's tripped by his own teammate. I mean, they've got some studs on that defense. Jaheim President is number 53 tonight, usually wears 47. He's their sack master. He's got 7. Jamel President's brother, who played at Wando and finished his college career in Illinois, played a little bit in the NFL, maybe on a practice squad right now. So he's got the bloodline. So to think about Smith leading the team in tackles.
Part of Smith leading the team in tackles is what President commands on the defensive line. I mean, he's the one who's commanding double teams He's down there with guys like Anthony Jackson and Bruffy. And then the defense really funnels stuff towards Darius Smith. There he is. I didn't realize that Jamel had finished his career at Illinois.
Yep. Started at Auburn.
Yep.
Finished up at Illinois.
Kenyatta Jenkins wants a timeout.
Timeout, West Ashley.
Prior to this first down play. So the Wildcats take the first timeout of this first half, and it's time to check out our Zaxby's fans cam, and they're pumped.
You know how this is working right here, right? He goes, I'll take you to Zaxby's, but you pay. And she's like, that's not how this works.
She's got the phone out, though. I think he's interested in spending some quality time here at the game.
She's texting her dad, dear dad.
I'm on TV.
Bobby wants to take me to Zaxby's, but I pay.
Yeah, that's not going to go over well with many girls' fathers. That's not the way to win over my heart, I can promise.
Mm-hmm. Well, it couldn't be a better night for football. And senior night here at West Ashley. 2 other games moved up the schedule for tonight. Berkeley, Goose Creek, and Stratford over Wando, worried about the storm system that is heading this way but is not here. Never really know what's going to happen until it does get here.
We got movement following the timeout here. 45's Ian Henry saying the ball should be ours. And there's your false start signal from John Hill.
First and 15.
This year it feels more than years past, at least down here. Games have moved for the threat of rain. Not hurricane type stuff, but like this.
Yep.
I always thought football could be played in the rain. Hey, guess who's up to make that hit? Darius Smith. He got some help from Rhett Butcher. And it'll be second down and about 16.
But he found him about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Loss on play.
That's a guy who's got a nose for the football.
Comes in averaging more than 10 tackles a game.
He's got 3 now, I think, right?
At least.
I'm going to keep a President or a Smith tackle total right here.
All right.
I'll go ahead and give him 3 now.
Okay. I was thinking 4 or 5, but I'm probably being a bit generous. Put it in the air. It's bobbled. Then Kershaw brings it in and runs over a man before he is caught by Oz Smith there, the senior number 19.
I watched Kenyatta during warm-ups, watching him just throw that little pass right there, and was right on the money. He's got a nice little arm to him, but again, that perfect dual-threat quarterback. Talked about it earlier in our opening. He's got 696 yards rushing, 718 on the ground. Pretty darn close, which comes out to 14-14.
And he's got a lot of guys who can help him out. Here's Dwaylen Delliston. And from 2nd and 16, 2 plays later, inside the Swamp Fox 40-yard line.
You know, it's an interesting setup we have tonight. We are hanging out under a tent in the top row of the bleachers, which is awesome, right? We get the cool breeze. I mean, there have been games this year that have been like just sweat boxes. So it's kind of neat up here. But just to our right, I don't know if you can see him, like right over there.
Yes.
In the white shirt, that's Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins. So anytime there's a big play, Mr. Jenkins just calmly rises and watches, and I've watched their son play basketball, and I would like to be more like them. Cool and calm and collected as a parent.
I've heard that it's more nerve-wracking as a parent to watch your children play than it was for you to do your job or play when you were that age. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I could see it.
Yep.
Here's Jenkins now. Fake the give to Bienvenu. Look out. No one is catching Kenyatta Jenkins. Touchdown number 2. About a 30-yarder there for Kenyatta Jenkins. There are his parents.
Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins may want to send a thank you note to the Kershaw family, because number 5, Dominique Kershaw, with a great block on the outside. There you see it right there. On number 15, Noah West. And that allowed Jenkins to take it in for the touchdown.
So 2 possessions for West Ashley. No turnovers, 2 touchdowns. Things could not have started any better for the Wildcats. And to top that off, one time they were on the other side of the ball, they forced a 3-and-out from Ashley Ridge. We already told you West Ashley has to win this game to get into the playoffs, and they're up by 2 scores.
Well, Bobby Marion said it. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, there it is. He said the want is there, but will the will be there? And early on in this game, his seniors certainly leading the way right now.
And there are a lot of those seniors. Watching what Scott Eisberg had, had a conversation with Coach Marion earlier this week, and he talked about the want and the will for his seniors. And you look at his playmakers.
Yeah.
Offensive line, Terrence Frazier going to the North-South game. He's a senior. You've got 3 other seniors on the line. Jenkins is a senior. Bienvenu is a senior. The guys who are also carrying the ball today, Kershaw, Delliston, seniors.
Right.
So if they want to extend their careers, at least from a high school perspective, it's a game that they need, and it's a game that they have started out very well. That drive started from the 12 and marched themselves all the way in about 3 minutes. So Bear Huggins, who sent one back to Nick Cunningham on the first kickoff he had, will avoid Cunningham this time, which is generally the game plan for most teams.
Oh, my goodness.
Troy Grant keeping his feet, doing his best Cunningham impersonation, gets out to about the same spot that Nick did just a few minutes ago. My TV Charleston, ABC News 4, proud to present each participating homeschool a check for $500. Chris looks thrilled right down there. This grant provides each school with extra funding to help make their school great. Over the past 8 seasons, Friday Night Rivals and our sponsors have donated $85,000 to Low Country students and schools. Congratulations from My TV Charleston, ABC News 4, and Friday Night Rivals.
You take a look at what West Ashley's done this year. As you take a look at this offense by Ashley Ridge, West Ashley's defense can give up points. They can also swarm the football.
Yeah, they haven't given up yards. They've given up 1 yard and, well, they'll lose a yard here. So no yards in 4 offensive plays from scrimmage. One more look at the WOW starting lineup. This for the West Ashley defense. Now for the WOW whole home Wi-Fi starting lineup. No slow zones, no dead zones, just WOW zones. That feeling when the internet's just flying at home and you say, wow.
I got a feeling that's what the football's going to do here.
It's a little bit too tall, and it brings up 3rd down. Intended target there, once again, was Nick Cunningham.
You go back to the very first series here. They had about 3rd and 8 or so, and Duncan tried to split the seam when he had Cunningham wide open on the flats. Tried to kind of force the ball in when he definitely had a completion out of the side, which you put Cunningham at open field, you have no idea what happens here. But I think early on, you just kind of pick away at this defense.
Duncan rifles one out there. What a throw to Justin Moree. And that, Dean, goes back to what you were talking about in your conversation with Bobby Marion, the maturation of Duncan.
Yep. And again, Fort Dorchester, obviously one of the better teams in the region, in the area, and to be able to put up, plus 300 yards, what it does for the confidence of not only your quarterback, your wide receiver, and you're obviously getting great play by the guys up front in the trenches.
Junior lefty swings one out here to Cunningham, and he puts on the burners. Wow, Nick Cunningham is gone. That's 41 yards to Cunningham. I believe his first receiving touchdown of the year.
Well, it's a great job by Duncan looking to the center of the field, moving over the defenders, and then going to Cunningham and the speed down the right side.
We did get a late flag in. It's down around the 20.
There was, I think it was Dennis Wright maybe. That was I didn't know if they were going to call a block in the back. I think there's some confusion not only with the West Ashley players, but also Bobby Marion. Looks like it's going to be assessed on the kickoff.
That is exactly what is happening, so the touchdown will stand.
Offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
I had missed the call, so if public address is to be believed, John Hill has assessed offsetting penalties, which would have come after the play. Otherwise, the play would have been replayed.
Right.
So we'll try and get a little bit more clarification for you. Nonetheless, there's Lazick with the point after, and a flag down on that as well.
And I'm telling you, you put Cunningham in the flats in an open field, and that little 8-yard pass turns into 48-yard touchdown.
He's got speed like you're seeing from Kenyatta Jenkins on the other side. It's a 5-yarder running into the kicker.
Rookie kicker on West Ashley High School.
And going back in the games that West Ashley's lost, they gave up 40 to Somerville, 45 to Fort Dorchester, 46 to Berkeley. And we have seen with Ashley Ridge this year that they have the ability to put up points. If you take a look at the penalty here.
Nice job, Lazique, but no question, Delliston did get into the leg. That is running into the kicker.
So if we're going to be lined up for a scoring fest here, which would be fine for our final Friday night rivals.
I wouldn't complain about that. And we know West Ashley can score too. You gave the numbers in some of their losses. In their wins, 67 2 weeks ago, 63 in their only home win against Stratford, 55 in a win at James Island. So both of these defenses better be ready to compete with the speed on the opposite side. And the officials still trying to assess the penalties. It was not offsetting on the touchdown. It was an unsportsmanlike against Ashley Ridge. So that backed them up 15. Then they walked forward 5 because of the running into the kicker.
He got his steps in tonight, just right there, didn't he?
Yeah. Check his Fitbit. And now we're ready. And really the question for both of these teams, they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
The question is consistency. The talent is there, and very few people would question that. How about that leg from Lazique? That is his 14th touchback of the year. West Ashley's had it twice. They went 62 yards on their opening drive. They went 88 on their second drive, both ending in touchdowns for that young man to the left of Bobby Marion, Kenyatta Jenkins. Yeah, Ashley Ridge, going back to the consistency thing, you look through their scores, it's win, loss, without exception all the way through, and their most recent game was a victory.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, both teams are coming off wins over Stahl and put up 60-plus points in the process. Jenkins picks his way through, gets to Rhett Butcher and E-step to linebackers after about a run of 5.
We really haven't talked this year about Stahl. They were one of the teams with Berkeley that moved up to 5A, and I think part of the reasoning was being in that 4A region with Hilton Head and Beaufort and Bluffton and yet all the schools, south of us.
Here on second down, Bienvenu carries the Swamp Foxes across the line to gain. That'll be a first down and likely the final play of this first quarter.
But it really does, it taxes them financially. When you are taking road trips, 3 times a year, down 90 miles to our south. So they are a program that should still be in 4A, and that's why you saw a lot of those lopsided scores with them this year.
Yeah, tough placement for the Warriors. West Ashley through a quarter, successful on a couple of drives. They lead it by 7 as we head to the second quarter of Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruise Chevrolet. Ashley Ridge with a victory not only heads to the playoffs as a guarantee, they also will be assured of back-to-back winning seasons. That'll be the second time they've had back-to-back winning seasons in the last 5 years. They just had a hiccup in 2016. Start of the second quarter now, they're trailing by a touchdown. The Wildcats have scored both times they've had it, and Kenyatta Jenkins has a couple of touchdowns as he manages to keep his balance for yet another first down.
Another 13 yards for Jenkins. And as we slowly morph into basketball season, you get a chance to watch West Ashley play. You watch this guy run an offense. Pretty scary on a fast break.
I have heard exploits on the hardwood, but I have not seen Jenkins play. Maybe I'll try and get out there once this year. Here's Bienvenu now. Talk about a 1-2 punch. That's going to be good for 6 yards there. But you got the 250-pounder, and then you got 3 other guys at about 150, 160 who can speed by you.
Yeah, I think Bienvenu would be a great power forward. He could just set screens all day for Kenyatta, just carry it on to the hardwood. He's kind of holding his middle section there, coming up off the pile. And that's why it's so interesting. And to be a coach of high school kids, you've got to be a special breed.
Jenkins had pressure in his face. He'll launch one, and it is off the hands of Kershaw. Oh, he had him.
Now you look at a team like West Ashley, and you're thinking, how the heck are they 4-5? Right? Just in and out of the fingertips, right?
It's a pretty good throw. You know what else took out to me? 38, Khalil Span on the defensive line.
Yeah, he did a nice job, didn't he?
He goes right in at him, and he hesitates, right? He doesn't want to hit him and pick up a penalty.
Yeah, he could have planted him.
Yes.
Right? Pulled his hands back. Yeah, well done.
So now it's third down, and it'll be Jenkins who spins his way. And did he get the necessary yardage because of it?
I'm going to say yes.
I think so as well. It's another one of those moves that would translate into basketball.
The white hat gave it a better spot.
And they're going to measure. See, I like this because oftentimes, especially this year, I've seen officials stand over a ball trying to figure out whether it's a first down or not, and they'll spend a couple good seconds there, and then they'll make the decision without the chains. If it's even remotely close enough that you're trying to figure it out, just bring out the chains.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot this year. You're right. It's kind of the guesstimation.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have enough, but it looked like the original spot was just past. I don't know. Is it Is it the black part of the chain?
It's the black part right there. So he spins
around.
it. This is where we need the credit card to slide down.
They probably would have been better served just to say, yeah, first down. They're going to say it's just about that short.
He can't even hold close enough to the marker.
I mean,
He's on the last chain.
You do this much more than I do. So where exactly is the first down on that chain? Is it the last link?
It's the part that hits the ground. It's the butt of it on the ground.
A little white little suction cup thing?
Sure.
Okay.
So an inch less?
Sure. Just about that much. Whatever that much is, according to our officials.
The green separating it from the
white hash mark.
That's right. There you go. That'll be the first down.
Plenty of room.
That's another West Ashley. First down.
Another thing that really stood out to me in that first quarter, Dean, both of these teams in their similarities have had issues with penalties, mental mistakes.
Oh, you're going to say it, aren't you?
I am, because the first quarter was played well. It was played, mentally aware.
Right. So you're saying it was a clean first half?
Very.
A couple offsetting penalties on the touchdown, unsportsmanlike.
And that's it. Finally, they'll make a play in the backfield. It's Jack Bruffy up to hit Dwaylen Delliston. And what I believe is the first negative yardage play run by the Wildcats.
You just gave the kiss of death to the flow of this game and to both of these teams. And you've done this long enough to know. The first time I ever remember seeing it was the Cardinals and the Dodgers, and Ozzie Smith hadn't hit a home run from the left side, and they put a graphic up like in 2,102 at-bats. He promptly went deep.
Yeah, but that's a positive thing. I'm sitting here, and if I jinx them, I make it worse on them.
See? Right there. We haven't had an offsides, a false start. No, it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. The same thing. It's like, Brett Favre hasn't thrown an interception in 932 attempts. That's pass?
Picked. And I'm very good at that. And because of that, I subscribe to that there's no such thing as an announcer jinx, only to...
Do you really believe that?
Well, I have to validate the fact that every time I say something, I jinx somebody. So I'll tell you that I just don't believe it.
See, I would much rather go the other way when I said Nick Cunningham, the open field, is a threat, and 2 plays later.
You look like you're smart.
I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Incompletion looking for Jackson Ramsey, and it'll be 3rd down and 17 here for the Wildcats.
I think where we're waiting here before things get out of control. What a great job. And a huge shout out and a compliment to the entire crew working this game. And they've been with us the entire year. But I mean, literally yesterday we got a phone call that said we're going to move our game up to Thursday. We had to make phone calls and outfit this game. I don't know, 30 guys? Help put this crew to come in and make this game make it possible.
And we're glad we're here. Jenkins is going to get away. And Jenkins almost had the first down with it. There is also a flag deep in the secondary.
Killing me.
Which is the second flag in 4 plays since I said it.
Looks like they're going to call it on our man Darius Smith. He's got the universal sign for I didn't do it, which is arms extended, palms to the sky. Is that Caden Dubois coming in, couldn't bring Kenyatta down. He steps out of bounds, didn't see the 21. All we've got is a personal foul.
On the white team, no number given either. So it'll be a 15-yarder. It also gives West Ashley the first down, where they were about to be stopped for the first time.
3rd straight penalty in a row.
Thought you were keeping track of the tackles for Darius Smith, not the flags, since I jinxed the game.
Yeah. Smith has been stuck on 3 for a while.
We've already heard about our Synovus Peanut Butter and Jelly Blitz, 34,000 pounds. Congratulations to everybody who has help participate in that. Friday Night Rivals this year launched the Peanut Butter and Jelly Blitz with Synovus Bank and the Low Country Food Bank. The high school that gave the most peanut butter and jelly this year was Fort Dorchester. So Fort Dorchester gets to split the money with the Low Country Food Bank. $2,500 will go to both of them in between. So we saw a check already of $1,250 that will head over to Fort Dorchester.
As the teams look to line up around the 35 at about the 40, about 20 yards behind them towards the Ashley Ridge sidelines. Kenny Walker is having a serious debate with the two officials, and I believe it's back up to the left there of the screen, but I believe it has to do with the spot of the football. Now that's Bobby Marion. He's happy. That's the unhappy guy right there. I think it has to do with the spot of the football.
You know, we also saw the replay from the perfect angle from the guys back in the truck because it happened so far downfield.
I didn't see it.
And that's exactly where I'm
Did you
going.
see it?
No, not at all. So I think Walker is probably questioning exactly what happened, plus the confusion of the chains haven't moved, the ball marker hasn't moved. See, there's nothing in the secondary here.
Right, so there's Smith. Smith is at the top of the screen, running
free.
towards the end zone. Oh, he gave a push in the back. That's a personal foul.
Yeah. This is the right call.
Okay.
Because that's completely unnecessary.
40 yards away from the play. I'm not questioning. I'm just.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a penalty. I think Walker is now, you know, my guess is some of the coaches up top, they probably did see that. So the question is where the ball should be.
So is it a spot foul from where the third down play took place, which was, where'd you have it, like the 47? Wasn't it second and 12 or so?
Yeah, they were back in their own territory. So right now, they've given them.
And they've given a first down.
Right. That is the first down. So they gave them 15 yards following the play. The 15-yard personal foul assessment.
Yep. Just wait till Kenny Walker sees the fumble they missed. You know what we could do? We could have Chris Nessman tell him and see his reaction live.
That'll go over well.
Rhett Butcher coming up, putting a helmet on Kenyatta Jenkins right away.
Yeah, that's about as well as it would go if you went up to Kenny Walker and told him that the first touchdown shouldn't have been a touchdown because they fumbled. Ian Henry will pick up that tackle there, so second down and 12.
Yeah, we are cruising right along here, and then.
Yep.
Huh?
See, you called me yesterday. Hey, you going to be around? Can you do this game? And now you're questioning that.
No.
Here's Mazik. Wow, gets away from Butcher and E-step, and he's got the corner. Mazik lunges. And there's still no signal. Yes, it is.
They're going to get Jalen Pinkney on a hold, wide receiver at about the 10-yard line. And I think the problem here is I think he gets his hands outside the pads. Shouldn't take away from the great run by Mazik. But that's where the hold is being called. Yep, hands up underneath the pads. I'll tell you what we could do.
So that'll take him 10 yards back from that spot. What can we do?
Oh, is that another penalty?
It is, yes.
There was. It is like a who's who of high school football coaches here tonight.
Because they may as well come out because most of them are playing tomorrow.
Yes. I just saw Dave Spurlock here.
Okay.
So Dave Spurlock was a former athletic director of the entire Charleston County.
That's right.
He was the longtime St. Andrews football coach. So many stories about him. He was a great coach and a good dude. Coach Waring, who was at Lincoln, I believe he was at Cross. He's here tonight. And then Coach Huggins is here. Former North Charleston coach, Bear's dad.
And now known as Ruderman.
Ooh.
Wow, almost. Nice jump on it by Jaron Strickland. And that'll bring up third down. So I didn't realize.
How do you know about Ruderman?
Because when I was back in my sales days, Nelson was one of my guys, and I didn't put it all together until after the last time we saw them, and you gave the Huggins story, and I said, man.
Oh, there you go.
How did I not put all this together? But there's a free plug right there for Ruderman.
Jaron Strickland had that pass in sight and just yard markers in front of him. Really jumped that route pretty well, break up the pass.
Mazik, they want the reverse. That's not there.
Oh, all right. Grayson Cope just decided to put his head down, and I like the move.
Yeah.
So that
I've got him as Grayson Cope as well. Nonetheless, let's crunch some numbers right now prior to this fourth down play. These are more statewide rankings. Class 2A, Timberland is number 6. Baptist Hill and St. John's representing the Lowcountry in Class A. Ooh. And now, Bear Huggins is going for the 46-yarder.
No, they are not.
You're right. They will fake it, and Jenkins will throw it away. And a turnover on downs. First time the Wildcats have failed to score, that being just their third possession.
Number 1, Jenkins.
14-7's our score. 5 minutes gone in the second quarter. Our Zaxby's fans cam. That youngster right there, too cool, Stu Cool. Well done. Having some fun here alongside Dean Stevens and Darren Goldwater. 7 minutes left here in this opening half, and Ashley Ridge coming off their touchdown strike to Nick Cunningham, who's wearing 12 tonight, if you're just tuning in. Haven't been a lot of straight handoffs yet for Ashley Ridge that have produced a whole lot, and this one isn't going to either.
Marion Nelson jamming up the hole. It really does look like West Ashley's defense has committed to stopping the run. It's filling in the gaps, bringing in extra linebackers. We've not seen Cunningham run the ball effectively. Catching the ball, yes. Running it, no.
This is the Swamp Fox's third possession. On first down of all 3 possessions, they've lost yards. Cunningham stays in to block. Sherrow, who just had the carry, stops short, and Marion Nelson goes flying by him. And he picks up about 7.
I've said it before. We've covered Ashley Ridge. I think this is the second time we've had him this year. Saw him again last year and just love the way this kid played a year ago, and very similar this year. Just a grinder, right? It's like a John Riggins grinder type.
Oh, now you're coming to me. The John Riggins grinder.
In your wheelhouse. And by the way, what number's you wearing?
Riggo's number.
Bingo.
3rd down and 3. They want Cunningham on the screen. They've got him on the screen. And it'll be close to the 1st down. Let's check out Chris Nessman now with David Ayler Law Office Educator Spotlight.
Yeah, hey Dean, I'm here with Principal Lee Runyon from West Ashley High School. So, Principal Runyon, your football team's not doing too bad tonight. They're in the lead right now, 14-7. But you guys have a lot going on at West Ashley. What are some of the big things happening this year that you're looking forward to?
Well, we're looking forward to our career and technology programs continue to do well. You know, we've got a world champion caliber mechatronics program that's doing well. Our dual enrollment classes are exploding, literally, or busting at the seams with Trident Tech students and high school students getting Carnegie credits simultaneously here at West Ashley. So that's really a great plus for us. And we just finished 1st quarter. We're really proud of nearly 700 students who made honor roll.
That's fantastic. Now, especially that dual enrollment thing. I mean, some people may not entirely understand what that is. Explain how beneficial that is to students at your high school.
Right. The benefit of dual enrollment is it provides the opportunity for students to gain college credit while in high school and take those credits through a transfer process with Trident Technical College anywhere in the state of South Carolina. Lottery Assistance pays for that. It's available at several high schools in Charleston County and in the state of South Carolina through the technical college system, but it can save parents literally tens of thousands of dollars on college tuition. So it's a fantastic way to start your college career while you're in high school. It's a boost to your GPA, and it's also a very prudent financial decision.
Very cool. All available at West Ashley High School. Well, Principal, thank you very much. We're going to keep watching some football. Dean, back to you guys.
Appreciate it, Chris. Ashley Ridge was marked just short, so they'll pick up the 1st down on 4th down.
And I guess a benefit for a do-or-die game for us at least, right? These 4th and shorts, there's going to be a little bit more aggressive play calling than you would see in a normal game when you might be conservative and punt that one away.
Cunningham takes it. Matt Duncan took a shot after he let it go, but there goes Nick Cunningham again. We got a flag down in the backfield. This touchdown's going to stand. It'll be roughing the passer, and it'll also be a 61-yard strike now to Cunningham.
Well, the play, I mean, Cunningham is Cunningham, right? But on the replay, keep an eye on DeMar Proctor-Floyd on the outside, number 10. He pushes out of the way. Greg Geathers that really sprang Cunningham. He never moved. Proctor-Floyd sat on the turf the entire time with his hands up in the air, knowing he was the guy that sprung him.
So Cunningham has a 40-plus yard TD reception and a 60-plus yarder. And if you can't find room just to hand him the ball and let him go, just swing it out to him. He's got over 100 yards on the night. The big leg senior only missed 1 extra point all year long. Ties us up with 4:50 to go here in this opening half.
All right, we got more pushing and shoving, more flags down. We've got a soccer flop. A lot of John going on down along the line of scrimmage after the ball had flown past the track. I tell you what, Nick Cunningham is Matthew Duncan's best friend.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're a quarterback and you're 2 for 2 for about 120 yards, I mean, that's the kind of stat you like on passes that win a total of like 8 yards. So taking that short swing pass.
And he's only really taken, what, I think 2 or 3 shots downfield, Duncan.
Yeah, missed one in the seam about 20 yards down the field on the first possession. That was on 3rd down. Let's take a replay here. Look at the guys inside pushing and shoving.
Oh, right there at the end. There's a tackle. Absolutely. That was Elijah Johnson who just body slammed someone.
So you body slam the guy, you get pushed, and then you flop.
And
right?
and then he was there
He
campaigning.
He was the flopper.
Meanwhile, all of this time just to figure out the call here. And now both sides are receiving an explanation. I believe Ashley Ridge is getting that explanation now. But this is another one that should be fairly open and shut right there.
Yeah.
West Ashley scored the first 2 times they had it, and both of those touchdowns were Kenyatta Jenkins touchdown runs. Kenny Walker has had the benefit of Nick Cunningham in the passing game and wearing a different number. Maybe he'll stick to this number 12. A couple of receiving touchdowns for Cunningham. I don't think it really matters what number he wears. Typically he's in 7, and he's rushed for 1,400 yards this year, 160 a game.
Yeah, I was surprised to find out this week from Kenny Walker that last year was really the first year he's played kind of full-time football. He'd played some 8-man football, and he said just a raw talent. And then off-season gets him in the weight room and gets bigger and faster and stronger. And the confidence goes up. Your offensive line has done a great job. And then all of a sudden you are playing football somewhere on Saturday, I would think.
I would think he will have an opportunity. He should. He's going to have enough tape from this year and numbers to back up what you're seeing with the naked eye.
So I don't know if I've seen this before. Have you?
I don't think I've seen him go from the 30, so they've got 2 personal foul penalties that have been called, or unsportsmanlike, because you've given him 2 15-yarders here.
You might as well have an onside kick here, correct?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And that is what West Ashley is expecting.
They have one guy deep, and he's 25 yards back.
It's Kenyatta Jenkins as well. All right.
Oh,
and it's going to go out of bounds.
So now the flag, another flag goes back. And where are they going to spot it? At the 35? Don't they spot it at 35? It goes out of bounds?
They would typically, yes. But because the kick was at the 30.
I can't wait to hear you make this up since we've never really seen this before.
Right. So I'm not making it up. I'm just questioning out loud where this ball is going to be placed because of the different kickoff spot.
I don't know if the officials know.
They've taken long enough to figure out.
Normally, the ball comes out to the 35 if it goes out of bounds, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So I don't know if there's an amendment to Rule 14-3.8, which I just totally made up.
Yes.
The ball went out at about the 8-yard line, and now they're going to come explain it to Bobby Marion.
I think if I had to bet, this ball's not coming back out to the 35.
Oh, that would be great that it was, right?
It would be humorous.
No, it looks like they're setting it up. So it's a 5-yard penalty because the ball went out at about the 8 or 9-yard line. I like to gamble.
I wonder if my buddy Penn Wagers, who's an official now in the in the ACC ranks, loved an explanation on that one. Here's Kenyatta Jenkins. He just doesn't mind where that ball is spotted back at the 15 because he's going to get out to the 40. He got 25, and Kenyatta Jenkins has him back in a normal field position.
In basketball, you call it a reverse spin pivot, and here it is. Whoop! And then he heads to the outside. Protects his body, goes out of bounds at the 40. I'm good with that.
He's fun to watch.
Yes, he is.
2 rushing touchdowns. And probably over 100 yards on the ground already here. First carry there for Greg Geathers, number 41.
Anthony Jackson filling the hole. 6'2", 275, just a junior.
Last time we saw Ashley Ridge, he was not starting. Now he is at the nose spot. He's certainly got the size to be right there. His numbers back it up. He's one of the leading tacklers. Kenyatta Jenkins, Bruffy able to bring him down. Check it, it's Henry, 45, not Bruffy, 55.
Henry does a great job of holding up his block and then releases as soon as he sees Jenkins go to the outside. Really well done. A few pats on the helmet as he goes over to his sideline.
Deservedly so for the senior. And because Jenkins doesn't run enough, he oftentimes will be seen running to the sideline to get the play from Bobby Marion and then back to the huddle. So he's got 5 seconds to get this play off now. Now 2 seconds and 1, and just does. And he's not going anywhere. That's Jaheim President, who met him in the backfield. This guy who can play anywhere along that defensive line. You can probably back him up to a linebacker spot too.
Yep. Blew by the left tackle. Jenkins, not a chance.
And West Ashley has now been stopped on 2 consecutive possessions after scoring on their first 2. Bear Huggins gets one high up in the air.
Ball
it is fumbled and scooped up. That is not a touchdown. You may not advance that football after the fair catch signal.
Oh, but it was so cool looking.
It
I'm
was.
Tell you what happened. Bear Huggins hit an absolutely beautiful punt, not a line drive, up in the air, and it is a windy night here at West Ashley. And I think the wind got a hold of that ball, and I think Jalen Perry, he was never, ever, set underneath it.
It's hard to see on the replay as well. As high as that kick was, by the time it came down, he had turned it over. So it was coming down, spiraling straight down, making it even harder for Perry to make that catch. Jamar Geathers is the one who recovers the fumble, and now West Ashley is in position.
Second big break on the night for West Ashley. The first one was a fumble that should have been West Ashley's ball, scored a play later.
Here's Kershaw now, and it is Rhett Butcher, number 2, who's in on that stop. He stepped, number 5, another linebacker there as well.
Darius Smith, first one to put a helmet on him. It's really awesome just to watch him. If you just isolate him, watch him move around that backfield and watch how quick he reacts to where the ball is. And now he's out covering Blackshear.
Nobody touches, I believe that's Delliston.
Until he gets to Smith.
Yeah, it was Kershaw again. But true. I mean, he got through the line here without getting touched.
Yep. Latrell Jefferson York, the sophomore defensive back. He had come in towards the end of the play. So he's pointing to his lower back.
Him and Smith were in on it, and then he had kind of rolled to the side. So he took a blow towards the bottom of his back. Maybe we can see it. It didn't look like much.
You see him kind of reaching back there.
Almost under the right arm.
Unless it was they're definitely working on that back area. Maybe if shoulder got jammed in there a little bit, his right shoulder. Another good look here. You see Smith coming up into the hole, making the first stop, and then he kind of comes in. Thought it was maybe right there.
It would almost have to be there when initial contact was made, because otherwise there wasn't much. But whatever happened, Jefferson York is in a considerable amount of pain. So we're tied at 14 here, less than 2 minutes to go in this second quarter in a game that's really seen a couple of odd things happen. It's good to see Jefferson York up by himself there, but we've had that fumble that Dean just pointed out that nobody on the field saw, even though the handoff was never secured, and because of that, they replayed the down from the goal line, and West Ashley scored the next play. We had a kickoff from the 30 go out of bounds. The other 30. There's Kershaw, and he is grabbed by Jackson. And this play was whistled dead before that ball out.
Greg Gathers set up in the fullback slot. First guy through the hole, created a little room for Kershaw to pick up the first down.
It's a big possession here for the Wildcats. If you're just joining us, West Ashley needs to win this game to make the playoffs. Ashley Ridge could potentially get in with an at-large bid. Jenkins isn't getting to the outside, not away from Nathan Eastep, the senior.
Eastep with a really nice play out of his linebacker position. Because there for a split second, it looked like Jenkins had the corner, and then a step comes out of nowhere. Nice block inside. Yeah, just split the gap. Left tackle let go of the block.
West Ashley will also have the ball to... No, it'll be Ashley Ridge who has it to begin the second half.
Another reason why it's so important here
Yes.
for West Ashley to put some points on the board. Ashley Ridge's offense been pretty effective from... They scored with 48 seconds left in the first quarter and then scored again with about 4:50 left here in the second. Just two quick plays to Cunningham.
Yeah, that's been the offense. Swing it out to Cunningham because there hasn't been much on the ground. And it's been quite the opposite for West Ashley. Almost everything has come on the ground, and that's true to form. They're running for about 290 a game and passing for 80 a game. And they scored on their first two drives, did the Wildcats, and only got this field position because of a muff punt.
1:02 left.
The other part of being out here, as we were just pointing out a little while ago, that we are in the stands under a tent, you get confused more often than typical, which is somewhat regular at a high school game where you get people walking up to you wondering whether or not you are the PA announcer, which we're not.
Crazy setup here by West Ashley, but they're going to score, and now a flag comes in.
Was it too crazy is the question. Were they lined up correctly coming out of that timeout?
Looked like there were 4 receivers on the right side.
And it's holding, so it has nothing to do with the formation. Remember back at the beginning of the second quarter how I praised the speed of the game and the cleanliness with which it was being played? It's
right.
It's about an hour ago at the beginning of this quarter.
Yeah, not good.
I'll wear that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were clipping right along. We'd been home by now.
We'd at least been in the car on the way. Second down and goal. Backed up outside the 10 here. They are in the Planet Fitness judgment-free red zone, and Bobby Marion, who is not judgment-free.
Wants a timeout. Saw something there he didn't like.
And it's a good timeout to take right there. Certainly you don't want the penalty after the timeout, but you give yourself the best possible chance at scoring here in using that third and final timeout. You take a penalty, you back yourself up even further, or worse, turn it over.
No, you want to be clean here towards the end of the half.
West Ashley hasn't played in 2 weeks, actually. The schedules all got bounced around a little bit when we missed that week's worth of games for the Hurricane. So West Ashley last played in the middle of October when they played Stahl, giving Bobby Marion a chance to say, hey, you know, we got 2 weeks to prepare for Ashley Ridge.
Right.
And we've focused on Ashley Ridge for 2 weeks. And that emphasis put there because it's a must-win game.
Right.
They have moved Terrence Frazier from the left to the right side, so this play will go that way. Kershaw can't throw it, and it's Butcher who gets the helmet to him first.
Looked like a helmet went flying off. Clock ticking down to 43 now. They wanted to throw the ball here. More confusion, it looks like, down on the sidelines for West Ashley.
Yeah, this hasn't looked pretty at all, and that one's going to fall incomplete. He wanted Jalen Pinckney, and Pinckney took a shot because of it, but it does stop the clock and give him a chance to set up a field goal here for Bear Huggins.
Yeah, Nathan Estep was stepping in.
So here's Bear. They sent him out once before, and they faked the field goal. So this one much more within his range. He's 3 out of 5 on the year. This one from 30, yes. Bear Huggins has extended West Ashley's lead with 21 seconds left to play here in this first half. Now Ashley Ridge does have 3 timeouts. They could potentially work the ball down the field with a quarterback with the arm of Matt Duncan. Bobby Marion already has discussed that, yes, Cunningham is the one who now generates the headlines because, well, Cunningham has rushed for 1,400 yards coming into this game and 14 touchdowns. But Bobby Marion said the reason Ashley Ridge is better now than they were even midway through the year is that Matt Duncan is really maturing under center. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not Kenny Walker tries to take a shot with Duncan or heads back into the locker room, accepting of a 3-point deficit, understanding that he'll have the ball coming out of the locker room. Nick Cunningham, one of 2, back to return this kick, which likely will not get to him. It won't. And it'll be good field position with 15 seconds left. And now you would imagine they'll take a shot. Troy Grant scooped up the ground ball. And there's no reason not to think that with half the field to go, Matt Duncan wouldn't air one out, maybe even just swing it out to Cunningham. But having explained that all away, that's not going to be the case. Or will it? Now a timeout for Ashley Ridge. Haven't seen that many times when you line up in the victory formation to take a knee, and then you call that timeout. Maybe they're second-guessing themselves. Region 8-5A, it's one of the tougher regions in all of the Low Country. Somerville, Fort Dorchester, West Ashley, of course, Ashley Ridge. And to come out of it with a shot at the playoffs is what both of these teams are trying to do. A win guarantees the victor a playoff berth. A loss, and Ashley Ridge would apply for an at-large bid. West Ashley, however, would not. So a loss would end West Ashley's season. Maybe we talk Kenny Walker into it. They'll go for it after that timeout. Matt Duncan fumbles the football, and now Ashley Ridge will just take it back into the locker room. Waited for the receivers to get downfield, takes that sack, and Ashley Ridge will get on out of here, trailing by 3. We do have an extended halftime today. It's senior day, or night as it would be, for West Ashley. So they honored the players who are seniors prior to the game. They will honor band members, cheerleaders, and I believe the junior ROTC seniors as well at the half. So it is somewhat of an extended half, but don't worry, we are going to keep you thoroughly entertained all throughout. And we'll also hear from Bobby Marion in just a moment. Made no secret this week. We've got the will. We're going to have the way. We're going to be able to put it all together. West Ashley scored on their first 2 possessions and kicked the field goal late for a 17-14 lead. Chris Nessman now standing by with Bobby Marion.
All right, that's right. Yeah, Coach Marion, so you come out of the first half with a slim lead. What are you going to tell your boys in the locker room to make sure you guys keep that lead?
Well, we just got to keep playing. It's anybody's ball game. We came out strong, and they came back. They're a good football team, and this is 2 good football teams playing for a right to go to the playoffs, and this is how it should be.
Okay. And a couple of those plays didn't go as planned. What is going to be kind of a focus coming out with this second half?
We lost our fullback there in the middle of the second quarter, and that hurt us a lot. I mean, we were in a pretty good rhythm there on offense. We're just going to have to, if he can't go, then we're just going to have to sort of revamp what we're thinking about here at halftime.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, so again, a lot of emphasis to just making sure that they can maintain that lead. It's a slim lead, but nonetheless, they do still have it. Dean?
We'll check on Bienvenu and certainly his availability in the second half. It's a huge player that got nicked up there in the half. Coming up, it's our Zaxby's halftime show. You got a chance to win some free chicken and more. 17-14, West Ashley leads it. Stick around, Zaxby's halftime coming up. I promised you it was coming. It's the Zaxby's halftime show. Let Zaxby's cater that next tailgate with favorites like the chicken fingers platter, the salad bar. Visit Zaxby's.com for a full menu and to find a location near you. Each week, Zaxby's gives you a chance to win some free food. I also promised you this opportunity. Text chicken to 44332. Just follow the directions on your screen, and you've got a chance to win $100 worth of delicious Zaxby's. Each week, David Ayler Law Office is proud to highlight scholar athletes from each participating school. The athletes you see are from the game we missed due to the hurricane. Josie Dennis from Bishop, England, has a GPA of 5.38 in basketball. Not too bad. And there you see her. Prior to that, you saw Brittany Hope Wilson from Timberland. So congratulations to both Josie and to Brittany Hope.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here with David Ayler of the David Ayler Law Office. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, glad to be back.
All right, well, very glad to have you. So we're talking about Scholar Athlete today. Give me some background on that.
Scholar Athlete is a great program. It's the second year I've done it, and we're looking at different male and female students throughout the state as a whole. A lot of them based, of course, in the Low Country, looking at what they're doing in the classroom, what they're doing on the athletic field, and then, of course, what they're doing out in the community. And at the end of the term, we finally look at who we decide is the best, and that by far is the hardest and worst part of this whole thing, is because they're all excellent.
Yeah, and we're right in the heart of football season, but this is not just for football players.
Absolutely not. We have a lot of our football players that also play other sports, and then of course we have a lot of ladies that are involved in various athletic events and things like that. But what's more important to me is not just what sport there is, but of course what they're doing in the classroom, but really what they're doing when they have their free time. Because playing all these sports, having that much schoolwork, and then the little bit of time that they have outside of all that to still be giving back to the community is huge.
And this is the second year you've done this. Talk about year one. What were some big highlights from that?
Really, I would have to say just kind of going to some of the games, going to some of the events, actually seeing them on the fields, but then also just getting to know them a little bit through their personal interviews, getting to see them with their brothers and sisters and their parents and their family and the different backgrounds, but yet they all have those same attributes of just really strong character across the board, school, outside school, and of course on the athletic field.
Well, David Ayler, we appreciate you talking to us.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be back again.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, that's the latest from here. I'll go ahead and get it back to you in the booth.
All right, so both of those student athletes have an opportunity at a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season, courtesy of David Ayler Law Offices. We've got more Zaxby's halftime coming your way from West Ashley Senior Night. Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Welcome to the Zaxby's Halftime Show. We welcome you back. Zaxby's wants to cater that next tailgate with your favorites like chicken fingers platter, the salad bar. Visit Zaxby's.com for a full menu and to find a location near you. All season long, we have thanked RKO Total Graphics in downtown Charleston for good reason. They produce these gorgeous trophies that then reside in the trophy case of the winner of every Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. 1070 King Street, that's RKO Total Graphics. We thank you for your support. Listening to these senior night presentations, something strikes me. First of all, Dean, I have not heard one communications major. One player, I believe, was planning to major in broadcast journalism. I would advise against it, but you know, it can be fun at some points. And I don't think any communications, lots of double majors, lots of engineering. And I wish them well. And for the most awkward transition that you're going to hear in a long time, before the game, there were other individuals that were on the field having a good time. I don't know if they were seniors. They certainly were not. They certainly were not as big as they may look.
Right.
And now that we have fixed Dean's mic,
yes. You want me to play-by-play this thing for you?
I don't know if we want to go play-by-play, but I do think it's important that we see how much one with nature we are.
I would like to maybe pick that video up about 20 seconds into the video.
20 seconds into it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know either. They're working on it.
I'll tell you what happened. We were, I was walking towards the production truck when I saw our engineer and our satellite director running out, our satellite engineer running out. And Justin has picked up something.
And that's you filming it.
Well, of course. And look at that face. That's T-Graph. That's Justin. And those are two bats. Two of them that were lounging around the 20-yard line.
Lounging.
That's Batman on the bottom. Robin is on top.
Okay.
And they were just hanging out down on the field.
They looked
maybe
petrified.
Looking for some bugs in the field for some dinner. But it was a little chilly. It was cold, so they decided to kind of just snuggle up together. And that's what they did. And then
to keep warm.
Yes. So Justin and T-Graph, who is that's T-Graph on the side to the right.
He doesn't look like he wants much of it either.
No, he's an animal lover.
Really?
So
he looks like he's scared.
No, not scared. T-Graph is not scared. And so they took them and released them over behind the end zone over there, behind the track. There's a big pond. And so they gave them a little beach location and then set them softly down on the ground. Look at this little young man. He's like,
He's not scared.
No. But I tell you what, if those things took off.
Oh, you'd see people running.
Me. Huh?
You'd see people just running for the hills if those just flew off. There they were.
They were burrowing. So that's to say, that's looked up Wikipedia bats, and they do like to burrow when they get a little cold and wet because we did have some rain here earlier. They were burrowing bats.
Yes.
The same bat time, the same bat channel.
That's right. And this bat channel is My TV Charleston. It has been your home all year long for Cruz Chevrolet's Friday Night Rivals and our Zaxby's halftime show. And we still have more of that. So stick with us or go get Zaxby's and come back. And then we'll have more of the Zaxby's halftime show. We continue with yours, Zaxby's halftime show. Zaxby's wants to cater that next tailgate with your favorites like the chicken fingers platter and the salad bar. Visit Zaxby's.com for a full menu and to find a location near you. Every week, you have a chance to get interactive with the program, and you will. But first, Charleston highlight.
How long have you waited for this?
Forever, and it's a game I wasn't doing.
Yeah, it was the old hook and ladder. There was almost a back-to-back hook and ladder play. In the previous play, they didn't throw the ladder. They just had the hook part. So yeah, it was very exciting.
I was watching from a hotel room. I don't know where when that happened. I did not watch this play live, but that's nice. Nashville. Now Chattanooga. We're checking into cash money.
Checking into cash. I like that sponsor, checking into cash.
Oh, this is Corey Miller, our buddies from Watch Fox up in Columbia.
Yeah, Hammond against Cardinal Newman. Hammond we saw earlier this year over at Porter Gaud, which was just a lovely evening for us.
And the score was similar.
Yeah.
Hammond is a pretty good football team.
Yeah, and I also love this field right here. It's like nestled right into a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right? And this guy goes just straight up the belly. And his head never moves.
No. Wofford should have touched the guy from Air Force.
The guy never moved his head.
Never. Ran
awesome.
Straight ahead.
Yeah. Some great posture.
Oh. Do we have 100 yards here?
No, not 100, but 99.
99?
Yeah. It was a handoff.
True.
You can't go a 100-yard touchdown run.
Maybe they were on the goal line. But 2 is fast.
Yes, it is.
And that's a touchdown. And those are great moments from Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals all around the country. And now you get to get interactive. Just follow the instructions on the screen and vote.
Show your small fox spirit, Rich. Let's hear it. Show your small fox spirit. Yell A-R-H-S. Cardinal and gold. A-R-H-S. Cardinal and gold. Last time. Rich. Let's hear it. Show your small fox spirit. Yell A-R-H-S. Cardinal and gold. A-R-H-S. Cardinal and gold. Go Wildcats! Beat the Foxes! Hey, West Ashley! Over here, y'all go! Wildcats! Go Wildcats! Hey, West Ashley! Over here, y'all beat the Foxes! Beat the Foxes! Hey, West Ashley! Over here, y'all go! Wildcats! Beat the Foxes! Go! Wildcats! Beat the Foxes!
Through a half, the Wildcats are beating the Foxes by 3. Vote cheer A if you want the home team. That would be West Ashley. Cheer B if you want to vote for the visitors. 244-332. We'll give you the results later. The home team almost always wins. So Ashley Rich, vote. Second half coming up. Set for the second half. Let's check in with Kenny Walker. He is with our Chris Nessman.
So, Coach Walker, you guys started out with a bit of a from behind West Ashley, but you really came back, came close, and now you're starting the half with the ball. What did you tell your boys in the locker room to make sure you guys come out with the win for the second half?
Obviously, this drive in the second half is going to be big for us. I mean, we got to the way it's been going. They've been controlling the clock. We're not going to get many possessions, so we got to do something with it score-wise.
Yeah, and what is going to be the overarching? How do you plan to do that this time?
Well, we got to be able to run the ball a little bit better. We haven't done that, but maybe throwing it might be able to open up some running lanes a little bit, but we'll have to see. I mean, we're doing okay throwing the ball, so if that's working, guys are catching the ball, we'll do it that way too.
All right, hey, thank you, Coach. I'll let you get back to your team. So again, throwing the ball, making sure they can get those runs, Dean. That's what they're trying for, to make sure they come out in the end. Back to you.
Some of the first half highlights. We're going to see some Kenyatta Jenkins here, Dean.
Yeah, that was just the next play after a fumble at the goal line. And then Jenkins puts the speed on again, gets a nice block to the outside, put them up 14-0. Took Ashley Ridge a couple of series to settle down. Once they did, they found their key to a little swing pass to a guy named Cunningham.
And the next one is not a replay.
No. Look at that burst, that just quick burst of speed. And I'm going to tell you, when you look at Wicks and Anderson and Cunningham, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but so very little separates them as Bear Huggins puts them up right before the half, 17-14. So very little separates them as running backs here in the Low Country. All really, really good.
Yeah, there's certainly some talent there, and talent in that left arm of Matt Duncan. And we're going to see the Swamp Foxes get the ball first. Trailing this thing 17-14 after a pretty lengthy halftime to honor a whole bunch of seniors from the cheerleading squad, the band. I believe the ROTC was incorporated as well.
And before the game, they introduced, I think there were 30 senior West Ashley football players. So they did those before the game.
Right.
So, normally halftime's what, 15 minutes?
Yes.
So they wanted to add an extra 5 minutes to halftime, which, we go right along with. That's fine. But I think they would have been fine with just 15.
They didn't really ask us.
I asked them pregame how long it would be, and they said 20, and I said, okay, that sounds great.
There you go. How about that jet? The animated graphic for our U.S. Air Force second half aim-high kickoff. A kickoff that Huggins smashes through the back of the end zone.
One way to keep it out of the hands of Cunningham.
That is definitely one way to do it. Dean Stevens, Darren Goldwater, second half action. The stakes are fairly simple. You win and you're guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. If West Ashley loses, they will not be in the playoffs. If Ashley Ridge comes up on the short end, they will apply for an at-large berth and could potentially get into the South Carolina High School League playoffs. They'd rather take that out of the hands of any type of committee, however. A win would also guarantee them back-to-back winning years. Here's Cunningham. They want to find the way to run the ball. This is technically a pass, but it works like a run. And Cunningham stumbles down after Elijah Johnson, 52, got a hand on him. It's a first down for Cunningham.
That jet sweep added about 2,000 yards passing to Deshaun Watson's career at Clemson. And you literally just pitch the ball in front of you. And as Darren said, it's not a run, it's a pass. And another big pickup for Cunningham.
That won't count because there's a flag down that they are now stepping off. First play of the third quarter. That's blocking back.
Well, I lost. I don't know how many fouls they have tonight, and our statistician has decided not to come tonight.
Yeah.
But Kenny Walker said he can't remember so many games that he's had with double digits in penalties, and I got to think they're getting close to it now. And that one was costly.
Instead out near midfield, they're backed up to the 10. They'll try the straight give here, and Cunningham has nowhere to go. It's the same guy on the tackle, the senior Elijah Johnson. It'll be second down and long.
And that has been the biggest surprise to me tonight, is that there has been no room to run between the tackles for Ashley Ridge. And the only time they have found success has been to the outside, and honestly, that's been through that little swing pass.
Statistically speaking, that's interesting because the Wildcats are giving up 5 yards a carry, about 160 yards a game on the ground, but Ashley Ridge can't seem to find it. There's Jalen Perry. They have found plenty of room in the passing game, and Perry is out to midfield.
Wow.
Jamar Geathers finally caught him.
You know, the thing that makes that work so well is just the quick release of Matt Duncan. That pass has got to get there, and it's got to get there quick. And then one missed tackle without forcing him back to the inside. You give up the out-of-bounds stripe, and he takes it all the way down to the 50.
They've found room down the sidelines. Look at Duncan surveying the entire field, now running for his life. Duncan gets rid of it as he gets plastered, and it is incomplete.
Tell you what, heck of a move. Heck of a move by Duncan after he releases the ball, because Shamar Tompkins is about just to deep pat him. Or no, I'm sorry, Darvon Darby. But he got rid of that thing and ducked in a hurry. He knew it was coming.
You're right. It wasn't as big a hit as I thought it was, and he avoided it. Swamp Foxes have alternated the wins and losses every game this year. They're coming off a win, and Nick Cunningham is caught from behind. Marion Nelson wrapped the ankles. Or are they going to spot him down?
Just a simple sweep play. He finds his hole, plants the foot, and that first couple steps so quick. And really tonight it has been big play Cunningham.
In the passing game, very little has been there for him in the rushing game.
Ooh. The flag comes out. Duncan throws the ball towards the official in that direction out of anger. Looks like he got a quick glare from the official on the far side.
Clearly was frustrated, but I think that was obvious that he spiked that into the dirt and not intentionally at an official. At least they gave him the benefit of the doubt. 1st and 15. He'll check off one and then throw high. He wanted DeMar Proctor Floyd, another guy wearing a different number. You're used to seeing him in number 4.
If he just waits a second longer and lets that play develop a little bit more, Proctor Floyd had the seam wide open.
I think next year, Matt Duncan could have a huge year. It's already a difference between where we saw him at the beginning of the year to now. I mean, there's more zip on the ball. He looks more confident. Once he can add that touch element in, it's going to be dangerous. Cunningham is spun around. He wants a face mask or a horse collar.
Looked like it was a face mask. As soon as it happened, you saw the entire Ashley Ridge sidelines. The universal sign for throw a flag, which means you reach into the back pocket to pull out the invisible flag and then throw it. No, you're right. It looks, but it got the front side of the pad.
Yep.
Which is not a penalty. Grab the back of the pad, then it is.
3rd down and 4. Jalen Perry is the motion man, and he's the one who takes it on the sweep, not going anywhere. Legree, the senior outside linebacker, brings up 4th down.
What a great play by Legree. Sniffs out the play, holds the corner, and then it's just mano-a-mano. And then brings him down. And they're going to punt the ball. Nick Cunningham was not too happy with that decision. He came off and...
They're going to take a timeout first.
Now they're going to talk about it. I think with the arm strength that Matthew Duncan has. And they've run this little swing pass pretty well that I really think you got an opportunity to do something there. And I think that's probably, looks like that's the decision that Kenny Walker's going to go with. You're not going to call a timeout to punt the football, are you?
We shall see. Anderson Brothers Bank helps us crunch numbers, and this is the way the standings shake out right now. Somerville, Fort Dorchester comfortably into the playoffs. Somerville ending the reign of Fort Dorchester here in the Low Country, something Ashley Ridge almost did a couple of weeks before. 3 of Ashley Ridge's 4 losses are by just a touchdown or less. The only exception was their game against Somerville. They didn't play well that night. So they are going for it on 4th down, and Duncan has Cunningham open in the flat, and it's going to be close and short. Geathers pushed him out, and he must have stepped out before extending the ball.
He's pleading his case. Kenny Walker's down the line pleading his case, but a great job. I think it was the right call. I think he was a yard short. Looked like he stepped out of bounds with his left foot. Jamar Geathers made a great hustle play down the line. I think they absolutely made the right call.
One thing that Cunningham can improve upon here, and we haven't said that very often, you want that extra yard, put it in your field hand. Put that ball in your left hand, extend it out, and maybe when your boundary foot goes out, that ball is a yard farther. On senior night, Kenyatta Jenkins, one of a number of seniors already with 2 touchdowns, and high-stepping his way for a 20-yard run out to midfield as one of the officials goes sprawling.
What a great job by number 41, Greg Geathers, setting the wall inside. You see him there, picks up a block, allows him to pick up another 15 or 20 yards after Bienvenu was injured earlier in the game in the first half. Not seen him.
Bobby Marion said we'll have to go into the locker room, check it out, and hope that he's able to go, but to this point, he hasn't been out there. That's someone who, if he was ready, would be. They're going to back up 5 yards here.
And that was on the entire left side, so left tackle, left guard moving all at the same time. Jenkins in the open field, so dangerous, much like Cunningham, but different though. A bit more slippery. Some of the Xbox moves.
Yeah, he's shown a couple of different spin moves tonight. 1st and 15. Jenkins airs one out. He is wide open, but Kershaw can't find it.
Oh my goodness. Blown coverage in the secondary by the Foxes because there's absolutely no one there. Throws it to the inside shoulder, it's a touchdown. Throws it on the outside shoulder. Kershaw's got to make a great play.
I think it took him a second to locate the ball, too, making it even tougher. And this is a West Ashley team that had very high hopes this year, started the year out 2-0, and really had athleticism to show off. There's President knocking him down with some confusion. Again, the absence of Bienvenu probably led to some of that confusion with Geathers.
Seen him make a couple of big plays behind the line of scrimmage tonight.
President has been about as active as any game I remember seeing him. It's probably 3 or 4 times I've seen him.
Yep. Passionate player. Saw him earlier this year. Very emotional kid. On the field.
4-men rush at Jenkins. He's got an open man again, and this time they'll convert it. Dwaylen Delliston. Yes, sir, young man. That's a first down. 26-yard line.
My man Darius Smith late on the coverage. Rhett Butcher, the linebacker, covering the wide receiver. He can't stay with him. Smith gets there a bit late. But for a team that is so well balanced, really in the series, looks like Ashley Ridge not prepared for the pass.
What so much run will do to you. You fall asleep. Ashley Ridge had some defenders on their heels, and speaking of heels,
I think he ran over.
He did. He hit Gether's heel.
So what the West Ashley offense does, they had the two men in motion. That was Gethers and looked like Blackshear, and then it just becomes a numbers game. I've got more guys lined up on the right side than you do. And then with a lead blocker, gives Jenkins a chance to make a little magic on that side. Just tripped up behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down here, Jenkins under heavy pressure. Will fire it complete, but there's a flag.
And that was a late flag. That was a really late flag.
It's in the area of holding as well.
And I think that's what Bobby Marion's saying. That flag came out. Bobby Marion. That flag came out after the ball was in the hands of the receiver. And there is about to be a spirited conversation about the 35-yard line. And it's one-sided, by the way.
Bobby Marion calms down the rhetoric at the official to give the play to Jenkins.
Nice job getting out of the way. Megan is moving. Another really well-thrown ball by Jenkins. We'll go back and maybe look at a wider angle from the end zone to see what we see there, but sets up a second and a whole bunch.
Tough to see on that angle. Here's Jenkins now, and he's going to give it back to Kershaw. What a play. What a design. Kershaw carrying guys down to the 10.
It was a handoff, a flip, another flip, and then a really well-thrown ball again by Jenkins.
Oz Smith was coming right at him. I'm not sure if the design was to give it so quickly back to Kershaw.
Love how Kershaw lowered the shoulder as well.
And we got more laundry out there. Unsportsmanlike against Ashley Ridge. So that'll be half the distance.
And Kenny Walker's just got to be wondering, this is about the third unsportsmanlike now on his Swamp Foxes, and that is, I mean, you're worried about having double-digit penalties in games. I think that's 3 right there on them tonight. And that's just discipline.
Yes. And it's hard to win games when you're getting 15-yarders called against you.
Because the talent is undeniable.
Ashley Ridge will take a timeout, their second of this quarter.
And I didn't see what it is, whether it's the yapping variety or the physical variety, it's still a flag.
5 minutes have gone by in this third quarter. 17-14 Wildcats. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruise Chevrolet, where you've got a friend in the car business, just off River Road. Rivers. River Road is a place I grew up in back home.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a River Road over in Johns Island.
There are River Roads.
River
all
Road
over.
in where? In
Potomac, Maryland.
Potomac, Maryland.
That's right.
All right.
So Ashley Ridge has taken its second time out of the quarter after the unsportsmanlike moved West Ashley.
And I don't know what they're discussing. We give them an entire commercial break to discuss it.
They've had some lengthy conversations today.
Oh yeah, we got a little shoulder movement.
There we go. Yeah, we got happiness on our fans can. There we go. Yeah, you. Yeah, Zaxby's fans cam.
Yeah. My man in the red's going to be like, I'm not even here.
The girls were all about it. He would have ducked down and hid if he could have. So Kenyatta Jenkins doesn't even take that snap.
That's their sophomore quarterback.
Grayson Cope. Oh, they've got Connor Black as number 12. My roster has him as Grayson Cope.
So does mine. But I was right behind him when he was warming up today. He throws a really good ball. They were like, this is our sophomore quarterback. Really got a great future here. But if you put him in that situation, anyone throw the ball?
I'd like to know if it is Grayson Cope. Well, Cope is not a quarterback, so probably not. Back to Jenkins, back to the whistles. Possible this is a delay game. Play clock reads 0. If you missed the first quarter, it flew by. It's a false start instead. It flew by, and I believe there were 2 total penalties in the first quarter.
And I believe they were offsetting. So there wasn't really much discussion.
No. And
you thought maybe you get home in time to read your beautiful young daughter a good night book.
Yeah.
Like maybe Good Night Moon.
Maybe. But now I think I'll get home in time to read her Good Morning Sun.
Yes.
Mazik in the backfield with Jenkins, and it's short. Spun down with authority by Noah West. It'll be 3rd and goal.
See it here. Looked like he was going to pitch it. Didn't want to. I think that's the right call. Just a little short. Ball in the left arm.
You know what? One play clock is not functioning. The play clock at which West Ashley is looking is not working. The other one is. So once the officials figure this out, my guess is they will turn off both. But we'll see. That could be another lengthy discussion. Here's Mazik, and it'll be 4th down and goal. West Ashley wasn't helping him out at all. It was 1 on about 7.
Ripping and clawing and pawing at the ball. Nice job to be able to hold on to it. I thought the whistles came in a little late. You got teams kind of jawing and as many personal fouls as we've seen tonight. I really like to see a quick whistle once that forward progression stopped.
Yeah, Mazik was working there. It was him against 6 or 7 Swamp Foxes. So they'll work on him, work on his right leg at the moment.
Really thought they had gone to something a bit more creative in that situation. You're missing your lead blocker, the 246-pounder Bienvenu, still not back on the field. Almost like a little fake handoff and a bootleg out to the left side for Jenkins.
Bienvenu's a big, big part of this West Ashley offense. He is their fullback, but he gets a ton of carries. He is one of 3 different ball carriers, including Jenkins, who came into the night with 7 touchdowns.
Great job by the Swamp Fox defense. Now they're going to have to do it again.
So Geathers 41 is in the game in place of Bienvenu.
Jenkins set up as a wide receiver.
Yes, and Kershaw takes the snap with more flags.
Looks like they're going to.
We have had more flags thrown in this quarter than plays run.
Another offsides. Now they'll send out the bear.
That's a disappointing end to that drive for West Ashley. You get to 1st and goal from the 5, get stoned on the first 3, and then back up. You know, you could have gone up by 2 scores. Instead, it'll be a 6-point lead. By the way, the play clocks have now been turned off without any discussion. And Huggins is a perfect 2 for 2 tonight. And West Ashley leads it by 6.
Tell you what, we are, again, this has been an awesome experience being outside, right?
Oh, yeah.
I would much prefer this in the stuffy old press box any day, but it has become, I've become very anxious watching this game because we are literally 15 feet away from the Jenkins family. And to watch the parents react when the kid's running the ball.
Nerve-wracking?
Terrible. Terrible.
But his team does have the lead, 20-14.
They do.
With 4 minutes to go here in this third. Oh, look, they've got the play clocks figured out as well, so they've reset them. Well, that's good.
All right. Right there in the middle of your screen is David Dowd, longtime Charleston Southern football coach. Been working down here for a while now. Scotty did a great story with him when he rang the bell following his cancer treatments. It was about within the last year or so.
Yates and Cunningham. It'll be Cunningham from the 3. Cunningham gets popped. For a moment, I thought that ball was about to come out. And Cunningham able to keep it secure.
Is that Mikey Blandon?
Yes.
Like it. Well done. Cunningham just pops right up.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that will be our Will Lou Gray stop of the game.
Right now. See how Ashley Ridge responds. I think Duncan needs to settle down.
Just their second possession here of the second half. Turned it over on downs on the first when Cunningham was out about a yard short. Look at him. He gets the edge and stays in, or tried to.
Marion Nelson put the only hit on him. And the amazing part, watching this unfold from where we are, it looks like, oh, Shamir Tompkins. Nope, Shamir Tompkins doesn't have him. And then all of a sudden he runs past 3 more guys. And Tompkins had him lined up right about the line of scrimmage.
He's just got another level. And what I love about the way Cunningham runs is he doesn't overuse that next gear. I mean, he patiently waits,
yes,
and then when it's the right time, clicks it in. Not going to have time to get into another gear here. Nelson again was the first one to hit him, and it brings up third down.
Again, between the tackle, there's no room to run on this West Ashley defense. All the success they've had is outside their ends and their tackles.
The 2 touchdowns for Ashley Ridge were little swing passes out to Cunningham. One about 40 yards, another one about 60.
If they swing it again, you're going to have a linebacker on Cunningham.
Here they go. And Cunningham dropped it. They'll say it's a live ball and a fumble. I'd love to see it again.
There's no way.
I'd love to see it again to see if, in fact, that ball went forward or not.
That ball, I think it was behind him.
It was close.
I've seen a couple of these plays recently, and it's where the ball leaves the hand. It's not where the feet are set, right? It's not where the left shoulder is.
It's where the ball is.
It's where the ball is being released. And it was awfully close. Another mistake.
That's our second turnover. Ashley Ridge also fumbled a punt that led to a field goal late in the half. Here's Kershaw.
Right
Goodbye.
up the belly. Nobody home. Swamp Fox is just stunned. Defensively, just stunned. And a huge hole, a pancake block by Terrence Frazier on the inside. And if he was touched, it wasn't by much.
They'll go for 2 to try and make it a 14-point lead. Kershaw's got his his fourth rushing touchdown. He is also the team's leading receiver. He is also in the Wildcat here from 5 yards further back.
There's an offsides on the play, Darren.
Yes.
It's a penalty flag down on the ground. Darren.
This is I'm getting a sense that someone is unhappy. With a comment I made early in the second quarter.
Like 2 hours ago you made it.
2 hours.
It's 9:45 on a school night.
It is, because it's Friday Night Rivals driven back to Thursday by Cruz Chevrolet.
Back to the future?
I don't know. Are we in the future?
I don't know where we are.
We're at a 13-point lead for West Ashley.
Bear Huggins perfect on the night.
Let's check in with Chris Nessman.
Tell me, Mr. Tucker, besides football, you guys have a lot of great athletic programs over at Ashley Ridge. Tell me a little bit about what you guys have going on in the next few months that people can get excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you a little rundown what we've done here for the fall sports. The beginning of the year, we were fortunate enough to win region championships in girls swim, boys swim, and volleyball. So it's been a pretty positive fall sports season. We'll see how tonight goes. Hopefully we can come back and make the playoffs here tonight. That'll be good. We're kicking off winter sport tryouts this week, so we've had a ton of participation and all that. We have 3 new coaches: girls basketball, boys basketball, and wrestling. So all of our winter sports have new coaches, so we're very excited to kind of kick off the leadership of those programs with some new blood and see how things go.
Very cool. Well, I want to say congratulations as a swimmer. Good job with the swimming. I appreciate that. So, all right, so winter sports firing up. And then come the end of the year, what particular sports at Ashley Ridge are looking strong? I mean, you talked about swimming, but do you guys have some other teams that are looking pretty strong this year?
Yeah, I would say softball definitely has a target on their back. They were in the finals for the lower state last year. We were actually hosting that game and kind of lost a heartbreaking situation. So we've got a lot of returners there. So we're excited about softball. And then, all of our spring sports are usually pretty positive and pretty strong. So our soccer programs, baseball is always good. So we're looking forward to the rest of the year and kind of finishing off with a bang.
All right, Mr. Tucker from Ashley Ridge, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the game.
Appreciate it.
All right, Dean, again, a lot of sports over at Ashley Ridge, and they're all looking forward to. Again, I'm just happy that swimming did good. Back to you.
Hey, Chris, can you still hear us down there?
I can.
What did you swim? What events?
So I did the 500-yard freestyle and then the 200 IM.
Ah, all right.
Nice.
So
nice.
What a go, it's been a while, though. It's not nearly as good.
Just got to get back in the pool a little bit.
Keep an eye on number 44 here, Josh Sharrow. He's going to be the guy that brings him back. They love to isolate him in a pass formation lined up. He's a top of the screen tight end.
They'll run him every now and then, too. Instead, they'll use him to block here for Cunningham. And that gets enough for the first down.
It feels like, seems like, looks like that emotionally, the emotions have got the better of Ashley Ridge tonight a little bit. They've got the full quarter and 3 minutes to get back calm and collected, get your composure together. We've not seen them use DeMar Proctor-Floyd much as a wide receiver.
They haven't looked in rhythm. I think that's
Great
something
word.
that Kenny Walker was trying to explain a little bit to Chris coming back before the half. They would like to run the ball, but they're not having success running it. So you're trying to throw it to set up the run. You're mixing in these penalties and inconsistencies, so there's just no rhythm. You hear football coaches talk about it all the time. You got to stay on rhythm. Got to get those 3-4 yards on first down. Got to keep moving. Find a good pace. Because when you don't have it and there's so much stopping and starting, it's hard to get your footing. And I think that's what we're seeing really with both, but more so with Ashley Ridge.
Well, I think, too, a lot of credit to the West Ashley defense. They played really well. They've given up two big plays for touchdowns, little swing passes.
Bobby Marion said they worked on the Swamp Foxes for 2 weeks because of the off week last week, so it's showing. Here's Duncan, picked off. Delliston jumps the route, angles his way back towards the other sideline, and Delliston is down close to the 15.
It's going to be Duncan that brings him down. Just underthrew the pass. And now there's John and talking going on the sidelines. But, yep, underthrew him a little bit. Delliston is right there. And back-to-back turnovers by Ashley Ridge. For the second consecutive series, you start with great field position.
It's even harder to get your footing and your rhythm when you start kicking it around a little bit. 3 turnovers now for Ashley Ridge. Jenkins is not going to get away from Ian Henry in what has become one of the longest quarters that we've seen in a long time.
I'm not sure what the official start time was on the
third
quarter, but it was a while ago.
It was a long time ago. A touchdown here for West Ashley. It wouldn't close the door, but it would start to push it shut.
And the Swamp Foxes asking their defense now to step up, make a play to keep them in the game. Because even a field goal here keeps it still a 2-possession game. Got an equipment issue by Advante Badariki.
And D, you just touched on it a couple of minutes ago. Ashley Ridge has 14 points. There are 2 plays that went for big yardage, both to Cunningham when he was able to find an opening down the sideline on a little swing pass. Other than that, Wildcats defense has been great. Here's Kershaw again out of the Wildcat. And Kershaw needs the 5, which he won't get. He only has about a yard, so it'll be 4th down. The 1+ for the Swamp Foxes, their defense has produced a couple of goal line stands, forcing Huggins back out to the field.
I don't know if you've got... I mean, what's their longest drive of the game? Ashley Ridge. I mean, play-wise.
Play-wise, not many. It could have even been the beginning of the third quarter when they drove down and turned it over on downs at about the 30 or 35.
Mm-hmm.
Huggins is perfect tonight and will remain so.
Hey, boo-boo. You know the thing about Bear Huggins is he's got a good leg.
Yes.
Right?
Very. We've seen him blast one through the end zone.
He is from the long and lean department store.
He's doubled his field goal makes on the year tonight with 3.
He is solid, man. He is solid.
It's one of the main differences in this game. Had it not been for him, it's a 1-score game.
4 field goals?
I believe 3. He kicked one at the
3
end of the half. 2 more in this half or quarter. So 30-14, West Ashley has really been in control of this game. And you're always fearful of the Ashley Ridge offense because of Matt Duncan's arm and because of that man, number 12, who normally wears 7, Nick Cunningham. There are playmakers. There is talent. So you're fearful of the big play, but aside from 2 given up.
You just kind of wait. I mean, you're just kind of waiting for them to kind of get in that rhythm.
You're waiting to see it. So there they are again. Meanwhile,
really nice play inside to pick off that ball
by Troy Grant. He still doesn't make a whole lot out of it.
If that thing hits the ground, you have no idea where it's going.
Just lucky he caught it and didn't bounce back down to the turf for a live ball.
Well, if you're calling plays for the Swamp Foxes right now, I think there's probably a level of frustration knowing that you can't run the ball between the tackles. The only thing you really got going is the outside. And Duncan has had a hard time to find his rhythm tonight.
They'll start from the 31. That'll help him find his rhythm a little bit underneath to Chris Yates. And it should be good for about 9, maybe 10. They're going to give him 9. He's going to be a yard short of the first down on what could be the end of the third quarter.
See if they hurry and rush and try to get one off here.
Plenty of time on the play clock. You can see the game clock. So this will be the final play of the third. It's rifled into the chest of Dennis Wright. So maybe that, as you see Kenny Walker clap his hands a little at the top of the screen, maybe that can get him into a rhythm. Little short passes. There is a flag down as well. So before we step aside, we'll check on this flag.
That's surprising because that was a pretty quick throw.
If it is ineligible. I'm not sure I saw a signal there. There it is, and it is.
And I'll tell you what, we'll check it when we come back. But when we come back, I want to throw back up the keys to the game graphic that we had.
First, there's an untimed down here in the third quarter. This whole thing's got our truck just spinning around down there too. That's what the home run sign on the football field.
Yeah,
the home run sign is untimed down.
I like the idea, just short passes, pick up 5 or 6. Don't have to go for the home run ball.
Just stuck on those baseball analogies now that I said it. Now we have hit the end of the third quarter. So it's a 30-14 lead for the Wildcats as we head to the final 12 minutes of the regular season. Wildcats and Swamp Foxes on Friday Night Rivals, Thursday edition.
We said it right off the bat. Ashley Ridge, their key, no flag Thursday. How have they done?
There have been flags aplenty on a Thursday.
West Ashley, a will to win for the seniors.
I think it's been evident. I think a lot of the seniors have put forth the effort.
Blackshear, Kershaw, Jenkins. They are willing their team to a lead right now.
They know the only way that they're getting into the playoffs, West Ashley, is to win this game. Ashley Ridge could potentially get in with a loss as Nick Cunningham picks up the first down right in front of his sideline.
See if they go to any variation of a hurry-up offense here.
Both of their scores came in the first quarter. It was tied at 14. It was a scoreless second quarter until about 20 seconds left in the half when Bear Huggins gave West Ashley the three-point cushion at the half. And Huggins has been at it again in this half. Nifty footwork right there from Chris Yates.
That was an impressive 1-yard pickup.
Yeah.
And again, if they're going to be settled on these quick, short passes, then they do need to hurry up their offense.
It's only a two-score game if you can pick up a couple of two-point conversions in there. But the problem is you haven't scored since the first quarter, and there's only been two plays that have really broken it. That's Mikey Blandon, the sophomore, who has really played a good game.
Had a great game.
The West Ashley band has been going almost all game.
The whole time.
The drums are solid.
If anybody should be complaining about flags, it's the band.
They're tired. Ooh, that was dangerous. Look, you could see 5 different Wildcat jerseys right there, and Duncan tried to thread it into the middle. So the 3rd and 9.
The deception there was Cunningham was serving as the decoy coming out of the backfield when the play was a little bubble screen over the middle and Duncan just misfires.
Curious to see where Nick Cunningham lands next year and if he's got the opportunity to play. I would be surprised if he doesn't at least get a shot. There's a good ball. One of the better ones thrown today to right, the only spot that he could get it that a defender couldn't. That ball was well thrown around the knees.
And a nice catch by Wright and a critical completion as well to move the chains. Stuck it right on the money. Trying to extend the receivers out a little bit, create some space.
West Ashley only rushes 4. Yates had it hit off his chest. And they're fortunate that ball was not picked off. I don't think Capers ever saw it around him.
No, there were 3 blue jerseys around that ball, and it seemed to hang up forever. Really nice job by Elijah Johnson to kind of create some havoc in the middle with those long arms.
Duncan, whose brother is a quarterback at Western Kentucky, waited to the 4th quarter to get that one in because he's probably heard it for the last 3 years, nonstop. He has every physical ability to be as good, if not better, than his brother. We'll see where he can come back through the offseason and into next year.
Missed a second throw across the middle. A little too much heat on it. Now a big 3rd and 10.
And he's going to have that one affected by his offensive lineman who got pushed back into him.
Yeah, I noticed on the interception, he came up limping a little bit, and now he's going to limp off again. It looked like his offensive lineman was pushed back into that right leg. And that's why that ball came up a little short. But the frustration on the Ashley Ridge side is visible. And now they're short a man coming out on the punt team with about 8 seconds left on the clock.
Dampier. Pretty good punt. Taken at the 10 by Delliston, who just had an interception a couple of moments ago. Yeah.
Again, another senior. His Will. Every time we have seen Ashley Ridge play, Shiro's had a really big play, and usually on the receiving end of the ball. They're able to extend him down the seams a little bit. But I think he's been targeted maybe one time tonight.
Yes, he has one rush and one catch. And the Wildcats can put this game away because they had the ability for an extended drive all on the ground. Remember, though, they're playing without Bienvenu, who's been out since somewhere around the beginning of the second quarter. So they'll go with Mazik there on first down.
Seems as though the Swamp Fox defense has been under pressure for about the last hour.
Feels like they've been on the field the entire hour. The offense just can't stay out there, can't sustain anything.
You talked about the band.
Band's cam, yeah. Wonder what's in their hands right there.
I saw them tossing stuff around earlier. Not sure exactly what that is.
It's almost like one of those red stress balls.
They should probably give it over to the Ashley Ridge sidelines.
Kershaw will bring that ball closer to his body, but did he do it in time? Ashley Ridge is going after it. You could see it as he takes the handoff. He waves his arm out like a chicken wing, and as he brought it back in, there were hands around it. So 3rd down and 4.
I would not be surprised to see Kenyatta throw it here. He's had great success this half. 3rd quarter, misplaced one ball that would have been a touchdown. We'll keep it on the ground.
They will go with Dominique Kershaw. And Kershaw is going to be a yard short of the first down. Speaking of Kershaw, hasn't yet signed with the Dodgers. You think he's going to...
That Kershaw.
That Kershaw. Is he going to opt out?
I think he opts in.
I agree. I don't see any way Kershaw is not a Dodger. The Clayton Kershaw. Bear Huggins handles all of the kicking duties.
Zeke came off hurting a little bit there. They've got nobody back to return this punt. "11 guys on the field, but again, nobody there.
They didn't even rush, so no one back to return it, and there isn't a hard rush on the kicker either. So Ashley Ridge, when we get you back here to West Ashley, 7.5 to go, down 16 on Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruise Chevrolet. Let's go ahead and crown them. The West Ashley cheerleaders, the winners of the Cheer of the Night. So, folks, next year I issue you a challenge because this is the end of the regular season.
What you got?
The Cheer of the Night has been a staple for, I think, 9 years we've been doing this, 7 years, 9 years. And I don't recall a road team winning. So my challenge is vote road team cheerleaders next year because they deserve it. They traveled all the way here. They put on a cheer.
Yeah.
And they just have no shot.
I'll tell you what, as you were going on about the cheer squad, that Xavier Legree, what a great play in the backfield to catch Cunningham, which nobody's done all night. Sets up second and long.
Oh, look out. Somehow Duncan avoids that blitz and throws it away.
So now the West Ashley defense is starting to taste blood, and now they're starting to dial up the pressure. Bland has had an excellent game. They bring some pressure on Duncan. And the one constant for this Ashley Ridge offense is no flow, no go.
Yes. 3rd down and 15 here. West Ashley rushes only 3, and that one zips off the hands of Wright. Ashley Ridge's offense hoping to stay out there, but Kenny Walker has other ideas.
Duncan limping noticeably and just absolutely just zinged that one.
Yeah. West Ashley's defense deserves a lot of credit. They spent 2 weeks preparing for this Ashley Ridge offense, and aside from 2 Nick Cunningham down the sideline, they've been great.
Here's Delliston.
Woof.
Telling you.
Split up 2. And Delliston is not going to get away there.
And I got to go back to
that's your guy, by the way.
West Ashley's last punt. Why Ashley Ridge had no man back when you've got a game breaker in Cunningham that would have taken it at the 30. You're down 16.
I don't have the answer, but I do have our smooth move of the game.
What do you got?
Brought to you by Yaden Chiropractic.
Yeah?
What do I have? I have a Kenyatta Jenkins. Oh!
That's the reverse spin pivot.
Yes. That's not the one he high stepped at the end, but I like the, I don't have that move. That left my repertoire maybe last year.
I got one of the greatest tweets ever coming up. You just tell me when you think it's appropriate for me to read it. It has to
Is it ever going to be appropriate, or are we just going to run with it anyway?
You know, I don't want to have to rush through it.
Okay.
It may need some recue of the bat video.
Oh, where are we going with this? Here's
We're going
Pinkley,
to the outside.
And he's out of bounds. All right, go ahead.
From Coach Gibson at Ashley Ridge. Enjoying the Friday Night Rivals halftime, ... Also, those bats are making baby bats. ABC News 14, feel free to visit Fox Ridge Farm at Ashley Ridge, and we'll go over reproduction in the livestock arena. Bats aren't our normal breeding, but we can make it work.
Nadine, you claimed that they were burrowing. You claimed that they were burrowing.
Because it's a family show, man.
Bats have families, and they need to create them.
Not at the 20-yard line. 15 minutes before kickoff. All right.
Maybe they did it on a dare from some of the other bats. But thanks for watching.
Oh, my goodness. I just, I don't.
You never know what's going to strike a chord, what's going to hit home with people. Here's our Cruise Chevrolet drive of the game as West Ashley has taken a timeout here. And it is one that ended in the, that was ruled the fumble. Still not sure about it. But it did result in the touchdown here from Dominique. Don't call him Clayton Kershaw. Free Chevrolet drive of the game.
You threw that lefty curve out of nowhere. Like, well, Kershaw applied for an extension overnight, and he got it. I'm not sure what he's done since then. And I think it's also ironic that just beyond the Ashley Ridge stands is a train track. We've had about 3 or 4 trains roll through here.
At least.
They have stayed on the rails.
Whereas the announcers sometimes have not. Crunching the numbers, as always, on the rails with Anderson Brothers Banks. And we got some final. Stratford falls at Wando. So Wando closes the regular season in their new place with a win.
And I believe that means they get into the playoffs.
And Berkeley will head to the playoffs after a convincing win over Goose Creek. Got a flag down. We should have been counting the flags here. We were not.
Just don't have it in me.
Every time John Smith goes to make a call, he reaches for his belt like he's turning on a microphone, but he's not mic'd up.
Does he know that we can't hear him?
He asked me specifically before the game if I was going to mic him. I said, no, I'd love to, but I'm really just interested in the names, which I've messed up because it's not John Smith, it's John Hill.
Oh.
But he was very excited that he was not getting mic'd up. But it looks like he keeps reaching down to turn on a mic.
That's big time officiating look right there.
That's right.
It's like the universal sign for throw a flag. Now it looks like
they'll be happy to run this clock out.
Drain the clock here. It was similar. Again, I've said this from the first time I ever heard you, man. You were like one of the best, right? So you go out of quit laughing. So then when you go out of town, I volunteered to step in. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. So I'm doing the Beaufort game. I believe the quarterback's name's like Lee Kirkland.
You didn't call him Kirkman, did you?
No.
Okay.
No, but about in the third quarter, I figured out I've been calling this kid Strickland the whole time.
Oh, isn't that a terrible feeling?
Yeah, so I just told Everett, I said, I think it's going to be interesting when Kirkland's family goes back to watch this game, they're going to wonder why the announcer kept calling him Strickland. And I had no answer.
See,
but I think this is football harder to do than basketball? Because you do both.
I even did field hockey this year. I've done a lot of different things. I personally think football is the most challenging to call. It takes the most prep work. There are by far the most moving pieces and to know, let alone storylines.
Great play.
Oh, yeah. That's Pinckney.
I thought that would have got Mom out of her chair, but no, she's still just hanging.
Yeah, I think they're pretty comfortable that this one will come the Wildcats' way, and they're going to have the opportunity to play some more football in the playoffs.
So I would have to say that football is, and I've done minimal basketball games.
Yeah,
but it's not easy.
The other different aspect about football is you're often a lot farther away from the game when you're calling it, so you need binoculars or the use of the monitors, which we use all the time. We also have an opportunity to get our Will Lou Gray Never Stop Learning Stop of the Game.
They don't have that at ESPN, do they?
They don't. But you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I called it when it happened. That's Blandon.
Yeah, Mikey's had a nice game.
Uh-huh.
So on your other calls on whichever network it may be, do you have spotters, or is it you and your other guy?
It depends on the level of the show, as they would say. So it depends on the game, whether or not I'm working with the spotter. Anytime you're watching something on network TV, they got a spotter. And it depends on the sport. So It depends. Saturday, I will not have a spotter. I'll be doing the Division II National Game of the Week with a lot of playoff implications and a league championship on the line from Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
How about that? Just south of Philadelphia's Arkadelphia.
Yes, if you drive down 95 a long time, and then at some point turn west. Interesting fact about Arkadelphia, but nicely done by Strickland. Hey, a Strickland. It's his real name, too. Strickland. To break that pass up.
Absolutely great play, and it seems like Ashley Ridge's defense has been on the field. And we don't have time in the game up here because our statistician called in sick.
Yes.
But it seems like they've dominated.
Oh, for
well, should I say that Ashley Ridge's defense has been out there a long time here in the second half.
They've been out there a very, very long time. We also have, I believe, our player of the game ready to go.
You want me to tell his mom real quick?
Well, are we sure it's going to be him?
It better be.
Low Country Orthopedics player of the game.
There he is.
Whoa, when it got windy, and when you're outside, stuff flies everywhere when it gets windy. There he goes. Kenyatta Jenkins. Couple of rushing touchdowns, capped the first 2 drives of the game for West Ashley. It put them up 14-0. Your Low Country Orthopedics and Sports Medicine player of the game, and you know what he gets for that. He gets that awesome shirt when they also get the trophy. Get back in the game. Fast access to Low Country Orthopedic and Sports Medicine's 5 locations. They're in Somerville, North Charleston, Moncks Corner, and Daniel Island.
All right, let me tell him right here. Hold on.
All right. So Dean is trying to tell him.
Your son was just named the player of the game. See, you don't get a reaction like that on ESPN or the CBS network, do you?
You know, next time I'm doing a network game and I'm in the stands, we'll give it a shot.
Well, okay, it always goes back to baseball. They do that at ESPN. Does that? They'll do games on the outfield, like at Wrigley and other places like that. I think it's super cool.
I think it's super cool as well. It'd be a lot of fun to do a game from behind the outfield wall.
Jenkins on the move to the right side.
I mean, you were calling it. I was going to let you just finish out.
I don't know. I just flaked out on me for a second.
So, go ahead.
I thought one of the highlights of the year, where were we with the DJ? Is that James Island?
It was definitely, it was them. It was West Ashley at James Island.
That was an awesome night, wasn't it?
Yes.
The DJ in the student section, I thought was a brilliant idea.
The student section, I think that was week 2 or 3. The student section's rocking. I mean, there are kids sweating profusely, and they're getting crushed.
They're getting run out of the house.
But that DJ had them all in the game and loving it.
Yeah, that was a good time. Love that.
We're at the point of the show where that was a good time.
See how far Duncan can throw a football.
Look at that. I mean, he's got the arm.
Yeah, he let that rip at about the 3, and it went out at about the 53. So, what we know about the situation, this should let West Ashley earns a playoff spot.
Correct.
It will leave Ashley Ridge in a position which I didn't know until this week that you put in for an at-large bid.
Is that new?
I don't know. But I know Ashley Ridge or West Ashley will finish 5-5, and as will Ashley Ridge.
Yes.
So,
and West Ashley will be ahead of them. They'll be 2-2 in the region, and Ashley Ridge will be 1-3.
But this is not. They were not able to duplicate the performance they did against Fort Dorchester, and they lost by 6, 31-25, or Berkeley, 28-21. That was early in the year. So I would imagine when you put in for a bid like that, that they look at the talent level of this team. I can't imagine them not being in.
I agree with that statement because when you look at, they're going to get a flag on that one. When you look at where they played their best, the Swamp Foxes, oftentimes it wasn't a loss against the teams that are traditionally, and this year as well, strong. So it's as though they're playing up to their opponents. The only exception to that was Somerville.
Right.
So you can make a case. You can make a case that way. But like you, I had no idea you had to bid to get an at-large berth, which is about the 30th thing that I can't explain about the South Carolina High School League.
Yeah. What's the first thing?
How you even come up with the playoffs in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing.
Landon on the backside.
Yeah. Duncan felt him. And I think they'll be out of bounds there and not get that interception. So Duncan just kind of heaving it away here, down by 16 and a minute to go. But something I do know, I am very interested to watch the playoffs work their way through, because I'd love to see Somerville or somebody else from the area get another shot at one of the upper state teams. And
Dutch Fork is really good.
They are.
They're really, really good.
You know, happen to like Joe Call, like what he's done up there at Somerville too. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy stepping in to fill the shoes of your legendary grandfather, and it wasn't easy for him. And he had to fix a couple of things, get things going his way, and he's done it. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for it. So,
well, the thing that jumped out at me at that whole situation, and the thing that I was most proud of Joe, is that he goes, and how appropriate this game is going to end on a sack and a defense that's played very well. But after Coach McKissick announced to retire, they gave Joe the job, but only as an interim.
Yes.
And I think that he felt like that was a slap in the face. I think it was a slap in the face.
Yes.
And it's like, what do you want me to do here? What do you want me to prove? How do you want me to get this? You know,
right.
What are you looking for here, right?
Right.
And I thought that was a great lesson in perseverance. It was a great lesson in character, and now you look 4 years later, and he's kind of said,
"Here it is.
Here it is."
You know, he did it. He did it his way, but he got it back to where his grandfather had it.
Look at about the 30-yard line on the West Ashley side. You see the seniors. Kenyatta Jenkins just standing by himself, shaking his head. What a great way to end the regular season.
To know that you're heading into the playoffs, to know that your high school career is not yet over. It's a special thing to know you've got still another day to put on those pads that you've been wearing for 4 years. When we come back, we'll have the trophy presentation. The Wildcats will be pumped. Kenyatta Jenkins will get his Player of the Game shirt. And we will get you set for tomorrow night's Friday Night Rivals with Scotty and Darren. 30-14, West Ashley shuts out the Swamp Foxes in the second half and wins the regular season finale of Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. They're excited for good reason. They've won back-to-back games for the first time since they did it to open the year, and in the process, these seniors have led these Wildcats into the postseason. Chris Nessman is somewhere down in there. Our camera has found him.
All right, if you can hear me, first off, real quick, Kenyatta Jenkins, you want to hold that shirt up for me? Hold it up. Hold up. Our low country orthopedic player of the game, Kenyatta Jenkins, #1 from the Wildcats. Congratulations. Secondly, Coach. Very strong second half. What changed? What happened? How did you guys come out in the end?
I don't know what this is the West Ashley football team that we started the year with right here. What we played during the middle of the year, which was a huge disappointment to us, but hey, these guys earned their way into the playoffs, and now we're not going into the playoffs just to go into the playoffs. We're going into the playoffs. West Ashley's never made it past second round. First round. West Ashley never made it past first round. We're going past first round.
Cool. And how are you going to do it? What are you going to make your team do so you can do it?
We're going to go back to work on Monday and get ready for whoever we got to play, just like we did tonight.
Ready to work?
It don't matter.
All right, and we want to present you guys. Congratulations.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. And he's right. That's the type of team that we thought West Ashley had at the beginning of the year when they jumped out to 2-0. So good luck to them, becoming the first school in West Ashley high school history to get past the first round of the playoffs. They earned it tonight. Thanks to all our sponsors and our possible later tonight. You can see the bats again if you want. And tomorrow night, you can check out ABC News 4 at 11, Friday Night Rivals. They'll have a complete rundown of scores from all around the Low Country, as Scotty and Darren will get soaked tomorrow getting all those highlights. So for our entire crew and the Jenkins family, great job tonight. For Dean Stevens and Darren Goldwater, see ya from West Ashley.